Ryan White, the AK Massage Nerd. And today we have two special guests, Janet and
Connie
from Young Living Essential Oils.
Hi. Pleasure.
Many years ago I actually met Gary Young too.
Oh,
so
did
he
you?
came to Rochester, Minnesota, that's where I'm from, and did a little lecture and everything.
That was exciting, I bet.
Yep.
Yeah, he's quite a man.
Yep, and so he's definitely made for the stage too, so he's
Yes.
So how did you guys, you're both massage therapists, how did you guys become massage therapists? What was that aha moment that you wanted to do it, or?
It's interesting. For me, I always wanted to be a massage therapist since probably about in the 1980s. And we're both flight attendants at the time. I have since retired, Janet's not.
Okay.
And I was always massaging people on the plane. And somebody says, oh, you've got to be a massage therapist. So.
What about when you're in the air? Is there rules and regulations then for that then, or depends what state you're over then?
Well, no, it's not that so much. I mean, obviously you're not just going to, kind of put your hands on anybody, but it's
just flight attendants.
No
passengers.
People that you work with, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
But we do have parallel stories with that because we were both flight attendants and laid off at different times and decided independently, actually, to go to massage school during one of the layoffs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's how that came about.
Okay.
And for me, part of that is always paying attention to health, kind of combating the ill effects of flying, and liking getting the work. So wanting to give back.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
And you guys both still have a practice then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you still both, you're retired, but you're still a flight attendant then? Or?
I am,
Okay.
supplement my income.
Is that hard working, or do you get a schedule way in advance, or how does that work?
You find out a couple of weeks before the month coming up what your schedule's going to be. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can
Kind of
maneuver it about. It's got a lot of flexibility to it.
Okay.
So.
Because you'd think it'd just be kind of hard to schedule clients, especially way in advance clients. So.
I have had to lay aside a great deal of my massage work. Yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword in this economy. The regular paycheck from flying is great, and that supplements me doing the body work.
Okay.
So.
Okay. And then it comes into Young Living. How did you guys get involved in Young Living then?
My foray was in massage school. I was introduced to it, and I had contacted a chiropractor that was going to hire me. She had an open house.
Okay.
I bought one oil, Peace and Calming, and a big, beautiful misting fountain. And I got home thinking, what did I just do? I spent $40 on an oil. What are you nuts?
Yep.
But 2 weeks later, that same instructor came and did our aromatherapy class. The gal next to me had a violent argument that morning with her ex, and this gal put one drop of Peace and Calming in her hand and said, rub your hands and smell it. And I watched her demeanor change within seconds. Oh. And that was my first intro. And I'd used oils before, but never had seen the results that quick, that fast. And so I was hooked.
Yep. And what about for you?
And I came to the oils through Connie.
Okay.
We were at a party for flight attendants, actually, and she was really excited about what she was learning, and so she brought a few oils, and we just kind of played with them. And I was still in massage school at the time, and kind of curious in many different directions, not knowing exactly how I wanted to do my practice at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to say, for me, it was more of an economic decision at that point, in that I wanted the best price on the oils. So I thought, okay, I'm going to buy in that way, knowing that I was going to use them in my practice and on me. And it's been a gradual learning process for me. Okay. Because there's a lot to learn with them. So.
And have you guys met Gary Young?
Oh, yes.
Yes,
okay.
Many times, yeah. And his wife Mary, too.
Okay.
Yeah, we actually took a trip to Ecuador, and he taught probably, 300 or so people up there. It was awesome.
Yeah. Is that where he's living now then? Or
he was. He since has moved back to the States.
Okay. And wasn't he out west? I can't remember.
Yes, he's out west.
He's Utah.
Utah.
He's in Utah.
Yeah, Utah. Okay.
Yeah.
And do you guys do you sell it in your practice then too? Your current practice? You sell the oils?
I'm building
Okay.
a business
Okay.
with Young Living Oils.
Yeah, and then how do you do it? Because are you retired from massage? Or are you still massaging?
Retired from flying.
Okay, but still.
I'm still doing Young Living and a little bit of a massage practice.
Okay.
I have one client who swears by the oils, and she orders monthly from me, you know, or from Young Living. So it's wonderful. And the way I always did it is I would set my oils out, and the client would come in, and I'd say, just take your hand over. And they go, what? And I say, oh, play the game. Play the game. And they'd reach down and pick an oil, and invariably it would be what they needed. And as soon as they would see that, and I'd read to them what it was about, that was all they wanted. So they wanted to buy it. So.
And a little horror story, when I was going through massage school, we had cryotherapy with ice, and then they put some peppermint oil in there. But the instructor did not tell me. And the thing is, I had my hair like this, so I grabbed it right away, and without the instructor looking, I was going like this to my head. And then out of the blue, my eyes were like swollen up and stuff. So it's just like, you make sure you label everything.
Yes, absolutely. I think probably everyone has at least one horror story of, you know, getting it on your hands and then rubbing your eyes.
But I'm glad it happened to me, so the thing is, I make sure to tell everybody else, and I'm just more aware of aromatherapy too. So,
yes.
I mean, some
peppermint's one, you got to keep away from those eyes.
Yes, and in open areas too, it's like,
Oh, that's a good point.
Yes.
Yes.
I did a foot soak with peppermint once too, and an open cut. I've tried it all.
Sounds like it. And still laughing about the story.
Exactly.
That's
Afterwards,
great.
many weeks afterwards.
That's great.
Yeah. So, with do you know how many essential oils offhand he has right now? Then, or
there's about 140, including singles and blends.
Okay.
And I brought one single and 2 blends. Okay. And I brought a white angelica and a Valor, and I use those quite a bit, and the peppermint.
Okay.
And people always say, what's your favorite oil? And I go, well, gosh, I have a lot of favorites. But if you ask me, what would I never leave home without? And it's peppermint. Yeah. Because it just handles so much.
I love the cooling sensations too and stuff. And,
right. But I've taken white angelica on people and just kind of had them run it through their energy field. And I had one gal actually email me and say, what did you do to me? You told me everything was going to be perfect, and I'm going to tell you I had the most perfect day of my entire life. Nothing bad came to me. I was so stress-free. She goes, I love this stuff. And I went, yeah, I know. It works.
Exactly. So, and how do you get training in aromatherapy then?
There are different schools. We've both taken Linda Smith's aromatherapy school. She does the certification. And her certification actually allows you to become a registered aromatherapist. And what's great about hers is she also includes healing touch and some other modalities, so you get a little flavor of everything.
And is that a school, does she go to different places to teach it, or is it just one place?
No, it's you get together a group of people, and then she will come to you to teach the classes. Okay.
So, and then how long of a program is that?
Those are like three-day programs. Okay. And then, then you're also doing 2 work booklets that are 200 questions each. You're doing 10 case studies and an 8-page research paper. Okay. So it's
make sure you know it.
It ends up
that is just one way of many. There's another organization called CARE with Dr. David Stewart that teaches you the chemistry behind the essential oils, and something called Vitaflex and the Raindrop Technique, which is real beneficial to use the oils with. Reading, there's constantly
there's so much information.
Yeah, there really is. It's all over.
And it's frustrating too. I mean, some people don't know which one's the real one or the fake, or if they have extra stuff in there and stuff. I mean, does Young Living do different kind of tests, or what?
Young Living is so stringent on their testing. Yes. They test every batch and multiple times. Okay. And they reject about 78% of other oils that come to them from other companies because it does not come up to their standard. Okay. They actually rejected their own peppermint one year because it was missing one chemical constituent, and so they actually used it on the farm for something else. They wouldn't sell it because it did not meet their standards. So
Okay.
we went without an oil called helichrysum for 2 years because, and it's a fabulous oil,
Yeah.
but it just wasn't the quality,
Yeah.
and we wasn't going to sell that type of oil.
Yeah.
So they're very stringent.
And isn't it with aromatherapy less is better too, or?
You don't need much.
Small amounts often
Yeah.
is the way one.
So that's why some people complain, oh, it's so expensive for that little bottle, but it's going to go a long
It'll
ways.
last a very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And what I noticed too is make sure you label the massage bottles if you put oils in there and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. Do you guys recommend patch tests at all then? And,
You can.
Yeah.
If you have somebody who's sensitive, then you can do a little patch test on the forearm for them, so, and they can see before they use the
And have
oil.
you guys been trained in the Raindrop Technique then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So what is how many oils is that again? I can't remember.
9.
Okay. So and then that's usually, is it an add-on usually? Because I haven't been trained in it myself and stuff, so it's.
Actually, it forms more of a core massage for me, but what
Okay.
happens is I do the raindrop. I always have that client pick their own oil too,
Yeah.
because I feel like their body intuitively knows what they need also.
Yeah.
And I incorporate usually a half-hour back massage in there. So
Okay.
it turns out sometimes to be an hour and a half massage. So
And what do you say to, some people believe you should never put essential oils directly on the body. Other ones say you're supposed to dilute it. So what's the belief in with the essential oils?
okay,
So,
Young Living oils are so pure that you don't have to worry about diluting this necessarily, not all of them. But I mean, there are some that are a little more caustic. The thieves oil has cinnamon and clove in it, so that's going to be a little more caustic. I go by the client. If I start seeing any redness, I start diluting out right away.
Okay. And what's the best way to dilute? Or how do you?
I prefer like coconut oil, but
Okay.
Young Living does carry something called V6, which is a coconut oil based
Okay.
massage oil.
Okay.
But I usually just take, just regular virgin organic coconut oil.
Okay, so that usually helps to
Mhm.
get rid of that then and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
You need a fat.
Yeah.
Definitely not water.
Oh,
Yeah.
not water. Okay, so no water. Okay.
No water.
Yeah. You tried that? Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're forgetting, having been told about, dilute with an oil or
Yeah.
carrier oil,
Yeah.
having forget about it, and you just kind of.
So you feel my pain?
I know where you're coming
Yeah,
from.
exactly.
I know where you're coming
Yeah,
from.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and you're asking the client too.
Yeah.
Have you been in a situation where you're around a lot of chemicals? Because people who do hair, they're around a lot of those chemicals if they're,
Yeah.
coloring. And they're going to have more toxins that are built up under the skin, so they're going to be more sensitive to the oils. So for those types of people who have been in a more toxic environment, you're going to be a little more cautious with them. And I'd rather go a little more cautious than,
It's always,
it's just a little safer until they get to know the oils. And I always tell people, when you're starting to use oils, the safest place to put them is on the bottom of the feet.
yeah. Isn't there some kind of theory where you cut a garlic clove in half, rub it on the bottom of your foot, and later you can even smell it in your breath and stuff?
Yes.
So I've read that some. I've
Same
never
thing.
tried it because I don't want to smell like garlic, but
Yeah. Well,
it's one thing I haven't done yet.
interesting enough, I was doing Valor. I had one lady, and it's called the Valor Balance, and I'm holding her feet. I put a few drops on her feet, and I just hold and I wait for the pulse to be the same, equal.
Mhm.
And as soon as I released, she said, "How did you know?" I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, "The minute you released, I tasted that in my mouth."
Oh.
And I went, "Well, your feet were like pulsing at the same rate, so I knew that you were balanced." And she says, "Amazing." So
Okay, and then how do people get a hold of you if they're interested in being a distributor or purchasing the oils and stuff?
I have a website, and it's basically youngliving.org/Connie Bynum.
Okay.
And then Janet is.
I have a private website, janet.stroop@sbcglobal.net.
Okay, perfect.
So.
So thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank you
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy your work, massage nerd.
Yep, thank you. Thanks, everyone.